I stood in the middle of my room before I went to pick up my kids, and I closed my eyes and I said a short prayer like I do before every big event that I know is going to be the beginning of a new chapter for me or something that's going to be forever embedded in the story of my life. So I say a prayer and I ask God to give me the words tonight. Help me to be confident up there. Help me to not be nervous. Help me to speak clearly. Help my light to shine bright to these parents and to these kids, and to just help me not to be nervous. And more importantly, just keep giving me signs that I'm in the right place, that this is where I need to be. And I thanked him again for the opportunities that he keeps bestowing upon me. I said that in my room, and then I put on my hat, the hat you see me wearing now, and I grab my keys and I walk out the door. I text my kids. I said, "Hey, guys, I am going to be there in about 8 minutes, so please be ready, be outside." Like, all right, Dad. So I go pick up my sons, and we get in the car and we make the trek to the high school. And I told both of my kids, I said, "Man, I'm nervous." "Why, Dad?" I don't know. It's new school, new parents, new kids. I'm nervous, you know. It's I know I'm gonna be fine, but it's one of those things where you want everybody to understand that you're coming in with the intention of doing right by the kids and the parents and the school. And I said, "I don't know. I'm just nervous. Like, be all right." So we get to the school, and uh, my kid's mom messages and says, "I'm about 5 minutes away." And I said, "All right, we'll wait outside for you." We get there early, like 20, 30 minutes early. And so we're waiting outside. We don't walk up to where we're having the meeting. And you see a few people walking in through the school gate, but we're standing out where the parking area is in front of the school. And I'm standing there, my kids are taking pictures, and I'm talking to them about stuff. And then this tall gentleman walks up, big dude, bald head, glasses, looks like a football guy. Walks up to me, older gentleman, and he says, "Coach Ray Molina?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We're family. We're related." I said, "Excuse me?" He says, "Yeah, is your grandfather Greg Molina?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Your grandmother's B? Because your Uncle Louis was in the Olympics, who's a boxer?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Your Uncle Johnny, you got your Uncle Johnny." I said, "Your dad's Ray as well, right?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "We're family. We're related. I'm really glad you're here, man." When I tell you that I was confused, I uh I was confused, man. I'm sitting here like, what's going on? And then it hits me. He says, "My name's Tony Santos." I said, "Oh, you're one of the assistant coaches on varsity, aren't you?" He says, "Yep." He says, "I knew it was you. I'd never met this guy before, mind you. I've never met this guy. He doesn't look familiar to me. Never met him." But he says, I knew when I saw your name, because they put out a pamphlet, a 2025 um, high school, I don't know, guideline, a pamphlet to tell you about the baseball program. And my name was in there. He said, I knew when I saw your name. I was like, this has to be, who I'm thinking it is. He goes, and then when I saw your face, like you just knew. And he goes, my mom is Josie. And he starts explaining to me how we're all connected and how my grandparents are related to his parents. And I said, how long have you been here? He says, man, I've been a PE teacher here for 30 years. And he goes, I do PE. I coach football as well. And I do weight training. And then I've been helping the varsity baseball team as an assistant for 4 years. He's like, I'm glad you're here, man. I said, wow. Then he starts telling me about how my uncle used to box, and my uncle was in the Olympics, and how his brother is a trainer for boxing. He's worked with Ryan Garcia, and he's shown me pictures with Floyd Mayweather and all these different people. And I am just absolutely taken back. And my son is looking at me like shocked. My kid's mom walks up and I introduced her and I was like, we're related. I go, we literally just found that out. And we start talking and everybody's like looking, like laughing, like just blown away. We walk into the meeting, see the varsity coach, head coach, guy that I've been working with. And he's like, oh yeah, he starts introducing. I go, yeah, we just found out we're related. And I was like, yeah, he goes, wait, what do you mean? And so he kind of explained the situation, and the varsity coach was just like me, blown away, just taken aback, couldn't believe it. And we ended up having this meeting. It went well. I got up, said who I was, and told them a little bit about my background. Got to meet all the kids, the kids that I haven't been at practice, and answered some questions, and just, it was a good night. We met for like a little over an hour, took some pictures, and once it was over, my son, we get in the car and we're like, oh, we're gonna go eat. Yeah, let's go eat. And my son gets in the car. My youngest, Jaden, rides with his mom, and Jordan's like, I'm gonna ride with you. So he rides with me. He's like, Dad, you almost broke down, didn't you? I was like, what? He goes, you almost broke down when the coach said that you guys were family, huh? I said, yeah, why? He goes, I saw it. I saw it in your eyes. And I knew it was my grandpa. I knew it was my family, but I knew it was my grandfather answering my prayer. I knew it was him saying, I got you. You needed a sign. You needed a sign, right? You wanted confirmation that you're in the right place. I got you. I'm about to blow your mind. I've never met this man before in my life. I've never had a conversation with him. I've never met him at a family function. I know I have a huge family. I know I still have family all over the place that I've never met. But for him to come up and say, hey, we're family, we're related, it caught me so off guard. And I told my son, I said, man, I knew at that moment it was Grandpa. I knew it was, because he made a beeline. He didn't go in. It wasn't like we ran into each other. He made a beeline straight towards me and my kids to meet me. And it knocked me out of my shoes, man. And I'm so, so thankful. I have been telling you guys that my faith is so strong that I believe that there's a lot of things going my way and things that are doors that are opening because I continuously tell God that I appreciate him, that I love him, and that I'm so thankful for where he has me at right here in this moment, where he's taken me from. And that I know that without him, none of these things are possible. None of these doors open. I don't have the keys. But with him, he has all the keys and he can open any door. And I know that was my grandfather looking out for me, my grandmother. You know, I reached out to a couple of my coaching buddies, and I explained to them what happened, and they were just as blown away as me. A couple of them were in tears because they know me. I'm emotional, man. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm I'm very in tune with my emotions, and stuff like that hits me. And a couple of them were like, "Man, that's God, bro. That's God." One of my coaching buddies is like, he's like, "Let me explain to you where you were. Let me show you something." He sends me a picture of me, him, and one of my other brothers at a Niner game 7 years ago. He goes, "Do you remember this? This picture came up on my timeline as a memory today. This was us 7 years ago. Do you remember what you were going through?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. I was 9 months into a divorce." He goes, "I know. Do you remember?" He goes, "Do you remember how angry you were? Do you remember how sad and broken you were? Do you remember all of that?" He's like, "'Cause I do. I remember that. And now I'm listening to you tell me this story about what happened tonight. And I want you to remember where you were, and I want you to be thankful for how far you've come." He's like, "Because it's real. It's real. God loves you. God has put you in an amazing position, and he's put you there for a reason. It's more than winning baseball games. It's about winning souls, about winning hearts, about going out there and teaching these kids about life, teaching them about God, teaching them about baseball, teaching them about everything encompassed, preparing them for the world." And I was like, "Man, it's never been more clear. It's never been more clear to me." I don't even know what else to say on this episode, man. I'm just so taken back. I was speechless for a minute tonight. I want you to understand something. And if you have been listening to my podcast from back in the day, you have seen my journey. You've seen the progress. You've seen the ups and downs, and you've seen where I am now. And I want you to understand something. And I'm gonna be very clear with you. None of it is possible. Nothing is possible in my life without God, without my faith, without me doing everything that I need to every day to be where I'm at now. And I'm nowhere. I've got so much I need to do still, but I'm on my own timeline with God. I don't have the things that some people my age that I know have, but that's okay. That's their timeline. My timeline is different. I'm getting what I'm supposed to have when God tells me this is the moment that you're going to get this. And then we will move on to something else. I asked my son, how do you feel about that meeting? He said, Dad, I'm like, it's so organized. It was so like everything was on point. Everything, he's like, it's a lot of work. He's all, but it was so much. Like, it's so organized. He's like, I'm hyped. Like, I'm hyped. He's like, I'm waiting for you to tell me my transfer is done. I'm hyped to go to the school. I'm hyped to play baseball. And God, man, I pray every day. I'm hoping that everything comes through like it's supposed to, and my son can transfer. And like I told you, I'm a realist and I'm honest. If it doesn't happen this year, we'll make it happen again. We'll try it next year. But it looks good. But to see my son so happy, so hyped, and I have my youngest son there. And I want to tell you guys something. As we're driving to the school, I'm telling my kids, please look around. Look at your surroundings. I want you to be encouraged. And I want you to realize everything that I'm doing, I am using everything that I can to provide for you guys. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I can coach some baseball. I know how to coach my ass off. And if me coaching baseball is going to help put this family in a better position, then that's what I'm going to use. And hopefully we win some championships along the way. That would be a bonus. I pray that God allows me to connect to these kids. I pray that God helps me get the best out of these kids. I pray that God gets these kids to understand my philosophy of baseball, to follow that philosophy. And I pray that I get through to them. And I pray that they have faith in me like I'm going to have faith in them, that we can do some great things. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so thankful. And I know you guys listening can hear it. Tonight was amazing. And I know my grandfather is listening and watching. And I just want to tell you that I love you. And I miss you. And more importantly, I hear you. And thank you for looking out for me. My mom, I sent my mom a photo and I explained to her who the man was in the photo. And she says, it's like you have a guardian angel, son. Someone's always looking out for you. And I know my guardian angel is my grandparents, my grandfather, my grandmother. And I'm thankful. That's all I got, guys. I share all these personal moments with you guys because I hope that they hit home. I hope that you don't lose faith in your own life. I hope that you continue to strive for everything that you're trying to do. I hope that you use whatever talent you got as a father to push forward and try to provide for your kids the best way you can. I hope that when you hear my basic life stories, that you are encouraged every day to be better. Because I'm nobody. I'm just like you. I'm a dad. I don't make a whole lot of money. I'm not some crazy dude with a bunch of influence. Uh, I'm not any of these things. I'm literally just a father who happens to have a small outlet to share my life with you guys. And I hope that it helps even one person and encourages you to continue to chase whatever it is you're trying to chase in life. that's going to help you become better. I love you guys. Like I always say, my life isn't perfect. Oftentimes it is a mess, but for me, it is the perfect mess. Peace.